welcome down to ice level here at Fifth Third Arena. My name is Andy Diedrich, and you're watching our presentation of the Kennedy Cup Finals here on Recruit Links. Number 1 versus number 2 to decide who lifts the oldest hockey trophy in the state of Illinois. The number 2 seeded Providence Catholic Celtics come in to play the St. Ignatius Wolfpack, who are top seed in the Chicago Catholic Hockey League. Let's get right into it. Standing next to us, Providence Catholic's head coach, Nic Lissuzzo. Coach, it's been a long season for you guys. Got to the number 2 spot, coming off a bye in the first round, but a tough 3-game series against Bennett. Came out on top. What's the confidence level going like into this Kennedy Cup Finals?
I mean, I think we feel pretty good about coming in. We split with them earlier. However, our last game and the second game of the series, they really took it to us. So we know we got a big mountain to climb here, but we've been pretty hot coming into the playoffs, so we're hoping to keep that going.
And looking back to that last 3-game series against Bennett, a triple overtime game included, but you fought your way out of that, won the best of 3 series, and have yourself situated to lift your first Kennedy Cup in a couple years here. What's the mindset to get the guys in the locker room motivated, go out there on the away ice here, come away with a win in game 1?
Yeah, I told the guys, we've got nothing to lose. We're the 2nd seed. They're 4-time defending champs. We just got to play loose. We can't play uptight. We did play uptight in one of those Bennett games, and it certainly cost us going to triple overtime. So we've got to be loose, and we got to play like we've got nothing to lose.
We have a lot of talent on this roster. 3 All-Stars that made the CCHL versus SHL All-Star team. A lot of youth on this roster too. Has it been difficult at all to get those young guys really motivated when it comes to the long season and making this playoff push down the stretch?
Yeah, it was a struggle early on. I think we've talked about it as a team. We were sitting in 6th place wondering if we were going to make the cutoff to make playoffs. Right around Thanksgiving, a little bit after that, I think started to see maturity, started to see some of our players accept their roles. Everyone can't be the leading scorer. Everyone can't be the top defenseman. So as they started taking the roles, we started actually kind of coming together, started to play better, and I think we had a big turning point. We went to South Bend in December and then Minnesota in January, and I think those trips really helped us.
Lastly, Coach, you are fortunate enough to have 2 great goaltenders in net, no matter who you put out there, in Grayson Sasaki and Drew Spencer. We'll finish you off with an easy one. Who's getting the start tonight?
It's gonna be Drew. They've been on a rotation. They've given us no reason not to have one of them sit. We always said going into it if one of them got hot, but they both been played well. So we're going to run out.
Coach Nic of Providence Catholic, everybody, thank you so much. Best of luck out there.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in a bit, I'm sure. We're going to bring in Coach number 2. I'm sure he doesn't like to be referred to as that. Spencer Montgomery. I'm already starting rivalries off the ice, folks. Head coach Spencer Montgomery of the St. Ignatius Wolfpack. Long time no see. It feels like we talk around this time of the year quite often. How you feeling, Coach?
Yeah, we like the routine over here. Excited for the Kennedy Cup final. This league's been around now 61 years and a lot of pride heritage, and just excited to be a part of it.
And might as well start calling this award the St. Ignatius Invitational. 4 in a row, looking for 5, all under your leadership. Has it been hard to get a lot of the guys that have been there for these past championships? Are they getting a little too complicit for it, or is it easy to get these guys motivated?
Yeah, you have to stay hungry. Like I said, this league and the history of it really means a lot. So we're very hungry. We respect this league. We know Providence is coming and hungry to get us. So we'll be ready.
Yeah, only 2 wins in the regular season of the CCHL. One of them coming at the hands of the Celtics team you play today. Follow that up with an impressive 7-1 performance, though. What changed between those 2 games for you, and what do you look like to pull from that game into today?
Yeah, you talk about letting your guard down, not being ready. We went into Arcadice Arena on a Friday night. They had a great crowd. They came out and hit everything that moved, and frankly, we were on our heels and couldn't recover. When they came to visit us for game 2, that was not the case. We got on them early and returned the favor. So I think it's setting up for a really great series.
This is one question I wanted to ask you all season. You got 7 All-Stars you tried out there in your team, including 3 All-Staters in the state of Illinois. How fun is it to have a roster that's loaded with this amount of talent?
Yeah, that's all coaching. No, it's great to have those guys. Everything starts and ends with our goalie Nick Nocera, who's just outstanding and committed, and he's gotten better and better each year, and super proud of him. And then we've got a lot of talent up and down through the lineup, but mostly we have buy-in. Our culture is all about pulling the rope the same way for each other, and I think that's what leads to championships.
Coach, sounds like you're ready. I'm going to let you go get the players just as ready. Thanks as always, Spencer Montgomery, head coach of St. Ignatius. Stay tuned, folks. We got our pregame show and the puck drop in game 1 of the Kennedy Cup Finals coming up on Recruit Links.
Cameron Arvanites, junior, right wing, class of 2027.
Gus Bergmann, senior, center, class of 2026. Sean Biden, senior, left wing, class of 2026.
Teddy Burke, junior, right defenseman, class of 2027.
Brooks Colmone, senior, defense, class of 2026.
Alex Cook, senior defenseman, class of 2026.
Charlie Gerami, senior, left wing, class of 2026.
Ben Grud, senior, defenseman, class of 2026.
Dylan Hahn, sophomore, forward, class of 2028.
Sullivan Helfrich, junior, center, class of 2027.
Chris Kelley, junior, center, class of 2027.
Nathan Lezotte, junior, defense, class of 2027.
Nic Lissuzzo, senior, left wing, class of 2026.
Maxwell Meyer, senior, right wing, class of 2026.
Nick Nocera, goalie, senior, class of 2026.
Liam Perreault, junior, goalie, class of 2027.
Reid Pienta, senior, right wing, class of 2026.
Sam Reif, senior, defense, class of 2026.
Grayson Rizzuti, senior, captain, right wing, class of 2026.
Jack Rogers, senior, center, class of 2026.
James Urtis, senior, left wing, class of 2026.
Brady Vacek, senior, center, class of 2026.
Grey Velarde, junior, left defenseman, class of 2027. James Woods, junior, defense, class of 2027.
Spencer Montgomery, head coach and hockey director at St. Ignatius High School. Grew up in Portland, Maine, and played club hockey at Wheaton College outside Boston, Massachusetts.
Brian's Garage Door Solutions. 25 years of expert residential and commercial garage door design, sales, and service, and almost 1,000 5-star Google reviews. Tate Enterprises. Design and remodeling for kitchens, basements, bathrooms, whole house, and home additions. Max Heads Custom Kick Drum Heads. Design online, upload, create, rock. If you're in a band, you need a Max Head.
Hi, my name is Brian Koenig. I am the president of Soccer 2000. We are a soccer specialty store located in Downers Grove. We specialize in servicing club uniforms and a personalized retail experience. Soccer 2000 has an exclusive team center that includes a wide variety of uniform kits to help your club choose the next kits that will make you guys look great on the field. Contact us at 630-241-9500 or find us online at soccer2000.com.
Did you know that you can advertise your business on our live streams? You sure can. Contact us about the numerous advertising opportunities we offer to local businesses during our sports live streams. Build brand awareness, engage customers, and support your local sports teams. Contact us for more information.
Welcome up to the booth here at Fifth Third Arena, folks. My name is Andy Diedrich. Welcome into our pregame show here for Game 1 of the Kennedy Cup Finals. Who else but the top two teams in the regular season to try and hoist that trophy at the end of the year? It's the visiting number 2 seeded Providence Catholic Celtics going up against the favorite number 1 St. Ignatius Wolfpack here hosting at home in downtown Chicago, Illinois. Tail of the tape between these two teams. Most of you have probably tuned in all season long, whether it was our coverage or someone else's, but we'll go ahead and give you the rundown on these two titans of the Chicago Catholic League, starting with the visiting Celtics. 14 wins, 6 losses in league play this year. Goal differential of plus 24. They're coming off of a tough 3-game series against the Bennett Academy Red Wings. They had a triple overtime game inserted in there, over 90 minutes of hockey for those skaters. Didn't come out with a win in that one, but won the 3-game series to give themselves a championship shot regardless. Going over to the St. Ignatius Wolfpack, winners of their last 6 in a row. 89 goals for, 32 goals against, plus 57 on the goal differential here in the Catholic League. Not much else to say about the Wolfpack other than this is their series to lose. They have won 4 straight Kennedy Cups, dating back to even before some of these seniors enrolled in the school. They're looking for their 5th, and they have to do it against the Providence Catholic Celtics. Some players to watch on both ends. We'll start with the Celtics. 3 All-Stars, Nick Coveni, Henry Gagliardi, and Grayson Susaki. Now, we'll start with Susaki. Despite him being the All-Star, goalie Drew Spencer is going to get the nod. We spoke to Coach Nick Ianchacho before the game. That's exactly what he told us. Drew Spencer, less than 2 goals allowed per game, a save percentage close to 92%, and he is joined out there by 2 All-Star skaters in Nick Coveni and Henry Gagliardi. As for the St. Ignatius Wolfpack, 7 All-Stars in the CCHL versus SHL All-Star game this year, 3 of those being All-Staters, Brady Vacek, Sam Reif, and goalie Nick Nocera. Star power is not out of abundance here in this game. 10 All-Stars combined, 3 All-Staters from the Wolfpack. You got what you bargained for tuning in here, folks. We can't thank you enough for being with us, and you heard enough from me. Like I said before, the Wolfpack have won 6 in a row. The Celtics have won 6 of their last 7, dating all the way back to the last time they faced off against this Wolfpack team. They split their regular season series against each other. Celtics started with a win back in December, where the Wolfpack followed that up with a game here 7-1. That's sitting heavy on the minds of a lot of the Celtics faithful in that locker room and in the stands here. And we're just going to let the skaters speak for themselves, folks. So we're going to take another quick break here, but don't miss. We got Kennedy Cup action coming here on Recruit Links.
Brian's Garage Door Solutions. 25 years of expert residential and commercial garage door design, sales, and service, and almost 1,000 5-star Google reviews. Tate Enterprises. Design and remodeling for kitchens, basements, bathrooms, whole house, and home additions. Max Heads Custom Kick Drum Heads. Design online, upload, create, rock. If you're in a band, you need a Max Head.
Hi, my name is Brian Koenig. I am the president of Soccer 2000. We are a soccer specialty store located in Downers Grove. We specialize in servicing club uniforms and a personalized retail experience. Soccer 2000 has an exclusive team center that includes a wide variety of uniform kits to help your club choose the next kits that will make you guys look great on the field. Contact us at 630-241-9500 or find us online at soccer2000.com.
Did you know that you can advertise your business on our live streams? You sure can. Contact us about the numerous advertising opportunities we offer to local businesses during our sports live streams. Build brand awareness, engage customers, and support your local sports teams. Contact us for more information. from Fifth Third Ice Arena, it's the 2026 Kennedy Cup Finals. Tonight, St. Ignatius versus Providence. Live stream brought to you by Recruitlings. Here we go!
The Kennedy Cup, the pride of Chicago Catholic Hockey League, historic, all the words you want to say to it, whatever you can say. What better place to decide who lifts the trophy than Fifth Third Arena in downtown Chicago, Illinois? My name's Andy Diedrich. You're joining us here on Recruitlings for the 2026 Kennedy Cup Finals. Thanks so much for being with us on this Thursday night. Game 1 coming at your way shortly between the two top teams of the CCHL. Who would have thought that the number 2 seeded Providence Catholic Celtics would be here visiting the number 1 seeded St. Ignatius Wolfpack to decide who lifts the state of Illinois' oldest hockey trophy. We're going to finish warm-ups here shortly. We're going to give you a quick tail of the tape between these two titans of the CCHL. Starting with the visiting Celtics. 74 goals for, 50 goals against in CCHL play. Goal differential plus 24, 14 wins, 6 losses, 3 All-Stars. Headline their lineup they trot out there. Winners of 6 of the last 7 in the Chicago Catholic League. Had a first-round bye as the number 2 seed in the Kennedy Cup playoffs. Follow that up with a 3-game series win over Bennett Academy. They had a triple overtime game in there, but finished the series strong to punch a ticket to the Kennedy Cup Finals. A trio of cups in their program's history, but none since 2017. And a big reason why is their adversaries across the ice from them. The number 1 seeded St. Ignatius Wolfpack, 17 wins, 2 losses, nearly plus 60 on the goal differential. 7 All-Stars, 3 of those getting the All-State nod. They have won the last 6 straight in the Chicago Catholic Hockey League. That last loss in league play, though, to Providence Catholic, a 4-2 game on 12-19, was the last blip on the record of the Wolfpack. They followed that up in the rematch, however, by defeating the Celtics 7-1 in the rematch right here back on January 10th. We have much more to gawk at over these two teams as we get things set here on the first rink at Fifth Third Arena. Wonderful facility here. They just added a new rink a couple feet behind us here, complete with a scoreboard and everything. That's where the Wolfpack are going to play their games going on to next season. But enough about me. We're going to turn it over to the public address announcer here at Fifth Third Arena as we kick off our pregame festivities.
Welcome to the first game of the Kennedy Cup Chicago Catholic Hockey League Championship. Tonight, your St. Ignatius Wolfpack hosts the Celtics of Providence Catholic High School. Please join me in prayer. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the blessings of this day, this opportunity to watch us and take guys. We ask that by your grace we utilize love to the house which you now and may make ways of spirit of grit, determination, and self-sacrifice. We call life, death, and resurrection of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, in whose name we pray. Amen. In the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. St. Ignatius, pray for us. Please do this in any place, as Savior, Lord, for honor
In the Catholic League, there's nothing quite that gets you hype, just like a pregame prayer and a great rendition of our national anthem. Once again, I'm Andy Diedrich here. Fifth Third Arena is going to play host to Game 1 of the Kennedy Cup Finals. Providence Catholic and St. Ignatius, two teams long we expected them to see in the finals. But after a solid finish from both teams down the stretch, arguably the two hottest teams, two of the best teams in the Chicago Catholic League, they're going to go toe-to-toe here in this best-of-3 series. DJ here plays Let's Get Ready to Rumble. That's exactly what we're going to do. Important note, starting out with the Catholic defense. In net, you're going to see number 31, Drew Spencer, the senior. His teammate and fellow goalie, Grayson Rizzuti, wears number 30, was voted an All-Star this year. After our pregame interviews with both coaches, Spencer's going to get the start. We saw him goaltend more than a couple of the games against Bennett in the previous round of the Kennedy Cup. Things certainly looked good under his watch. They're going to continue to do so if Providence Catholic wants to come out with a victory today. Once again, these two teams splitting the regular season battles against them. Most recently, the 7-1 blowout win of the Wolfpack. That was right here against these Providence Catholic Celtics. Across the ice from Drew Spencer, getting the start in net for the St. Ignatius Wolfpack will be the All-Stater Nick Nocera. Only 4 games in the CCHL this year, is allowing less than a goal per game. We are off and running from downtown Chicago, Illinois. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday night here on Recruitlings. An early look for Drew Spencer. He's got to save that one, but easily does it. Wolfpack had time on attack first, but worked quickly the other way in the possession of the Celtics. Quick shot goes towards the goal, frozen by Nocera to kick things off. Again, that's Nick Nocera winning number 40. His counterpart in Liam Perreault has been getting a majority of the nods in Chicago Catholic League play because this St. Ignatius Wolfpack, as ambitious they are, also play in the highly coveted Scholastic Hockey League, of which they just finished up their run through those playoffs. They are falling to New Trier in 3 games. We'll have some time to dissect that as this game goes on. Wolfpack winning that faceoff, getting out and running. Up ahead is number 35, Jimmy Urtis. One of the many seniors on this team. Urtis, 8 goals, 5 assists for 13 points in CCHL play this season. Wolfpack have 19 games on their belt as opposed to Providence Catholic's 20 games. That's because St. Ignatius was able to sweep their opponents in the last round. And of course, being the Notre Dame Dons, they won those games 4-0 and 3-2. Providence Catholic took Bennett to 3 games. Scores were 4-1. A 3-2 loss in triple overtime, but then a 1-0 and a shutout win for Drew Spencer in net, which is probably a big reason why he's in net tonight. If you're hot, you're hot, and that's what head coach of the Providence Catholic Celtics, Nick Ichancio, heck of a name there. Sorry, coach. Still working on that. That's why he's going to get another start tonight. Going to get our second stoppage, rather, I believe. 15:42 on the clock. Still no score. Face-off won by the Wolfpack, skating on that far side, shooting and scoring! Senior Max Meyer floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. His 12th goal of the year is a huge one for the senior. The Wolfpack are going to play this one from in front, 1-0, less than 90 seconds in. Gotta love the goal song there. The remix of Freebird, of course, taken after the United States hockey teams. We just saw the women win gold today against Canada in overtime. Both these teams trying to do their best patriotic Stars and Stripes impression, whether it's them or the men who will be playing in the semifinals, who might also play Canada in the finals. But what a goal. Max Meyer straight off of the faceoff. The Wolfpack have to get back and defend, and then it is Meyer that'll play the defense on the charging number 11, Nick Koveny. Kovany's one of the 3 All-Stars, leading scorer for the Celtics. 14 goals, 13 assists in league play. Another chance and another goal! Are you kidding? We pause for a moment to let the public address announcer celebrate Max Meyer's opening goal. Charlie Gerami did not heed that delay, however. Number 19, who's come up in the biggest stages for the Wolfpack, does it again. 2-0, and we're barely over 120 seconds in. Wow is all we can say up here in the booth. So Drew Spencer helped pitch a shutout against Bennett, and the last time he took the ice in the CCHL has now allowed 2 goals. The first 2 minutes of this one. Another shot heads towards, but it's off the helmet. Good positioning there from Daniel Fiorentino the wrong roster. Gilberto Ayala, number 3 of the Celtics. Another impressive start from the Wolfpack. They have been the team that has started the aggression in both of these head-to-head matchups. Providence, of course, prevailing with a 4-2 win in that first game. Another chance for the Wolfpack. Far side Vacek. He shoots, but that goes near post wide. He collects his own rebound. He's defended well on that near side behind the post. Still trickling through the slot. Now back out. Bounces, controlling, shooting, but blocked in the middle and maybe down and hurt. Putting his life on the line there. Ryan Sturr, the defender. He's going to stay on, though, as the Celtics have a push on the other side. Shooting, goes wide of Nocera's net. Taking aim there, his first shot of the night was number 24, Mason Brandow. He's a junior, another stick to watch for the Celtics offense. 6 goals, 12 assists. Vacek pursuing on the forecheck. One of the 3 all-staters for the Wolfpack. They'll get Sean Biden on the ice, one of the seniors of this team. Loose puck in the slot. Kicked by Vacek, and now back the other way, it's Biden. What can the Celtics do with their first time with significant time on attack? Backhanded is past the charging number 19. Number 20, Mitchell Piano was the one crashing through the slot between the dots. The Wolfpack have outshot the Celtics significantly in their first 2 matchups. The first one, despite the 4-2 loss, 43-32 shots on goal stood. Puck in front, saved by Nocera, batted up, and now just thrown out of there. A good hand and just great awareness there by Nathan Lezotte. Lizotte's out there to defend with a couple of his teammates. Biden's out there. They're joined by Lissuzzo and Gerami. Biden flings it out. Arm goes up. Icing is the call. 12:32 remaining in the first period of play. 2-0 Wolfpack. Early goals by some impressive shots. Credit those to Max Meyer as well as Charlie Gerami. 2 very likely suspects when it comes to the goal scoring for the Wolfpack. Over 24 goals combined in league play this year, even more over in the Scholastic Hockey League. How can the Celtics respond? Another icing as that puck traveled through too many lines. Again, their second meeting, Wolfpack outshot the Celtics 32-18, but the most impressive statistic was that final score, 7-1. The Wolfpack, 4 goals in the first. If things continue, that certainly looks like this game is trending in that direction. They had 6 different goal scorers in that matchup, 2 from Jimmy Urtis. Everybody else was a unique player. The 1 lone Providence goal from Nick Coveni. We had a completely different netminder matchup in that one. That was Grayson Rizzuti versus Liam Perreault, of course. We have all-stater Nick Nocera going up against Drew Spencer, who's been playing his best hockey as of late. Poked out of the zone, looking to reset. It's another all-star, Teddy Burke. Flings it to Urtis. Urtis first in the zone. Makes a man move. Nice move. Slow-moving puck was bounced up and out, however. Falling in front of the goal, briefly there was Jack Rogers, but he'll get back. And even though the forecheck pressure is not resulting on change of possession in their zone, Wolfpack still getting the still getting the puck in neutral ice and making a push as they start this one all the way back from their own cage. Shot flings through the crease. One was off the stick of Reid Pienta, who will skate off for a line change. Burke and Rogers stay in on the forecheck. Dump and chase in there from Urtis. Flinging around and chasing indeed is Max Meyer, our first goal scorer. Unable to be kept alive. Neutral ice, cross ice. Shots on goal here on the scoreboard only says 4-3 in favor of the Wolfpack, but time on attack's the important statistic to monitor. Off Gerami's stick, he will pursue it alongside Grayson Rizzuti, the captain. Head coach Spencer Montgomery, so many things to compliment a lot of these key players on his team on. Rizzuti's the captain for a reason. Calls him a culture driver. Does everything the right way, plays hard, scores greasy goals. Most importantly, he hits hard, pumps up his teammates. Talk about a hockey guy. Grayson Rizzuti's your guy. Meyer to Rizzuti with Gerami. Defended well. Hard hit into the boards, delivered by Sturr. Loose puck, some more hard hits behind the cage. Playing the boards, getting that one out of there. Celtics want to get a line change in, and unable to get there in time to start an attack was Sam Reif. I feel like every name you say on this Wolfpack team has either an all-star or an all-state appearance. Sam Reif has both. Of course, the Celtics, plenty of talent up and down. We mentioned their 3 all-stars in the CCHL versus SHL all-star game a couple of weeks ago. Nick Coveney, Henry Gagliardi, Grayson Susaki got the nods. Things continue the way they are. Maybe we will see Susaki. Right now it's Drew Spencer. After a couple early mistakes by him in the defense, they have held firm. If they can hold serve the rest of the way, sneak a goal by Nick Nocera, things could get dicey. And here's a chance for them to do so. Out in transition, Mason Brandow funnels it in. Cardwell, big-time scorer, 11 goals on the year. Around the cage, Ignatius defense wins possession. So quick in transition, 3-on-2 through the legs. And ahead to Kelley. Kelly's in the corner. He's delivered a big hit to him by Ryan Shack. Some more back and forth action. Brandow gets to his right. Pass Vacek. Well, wait, wants a wraparound, but the block was there. Awareness, impressive stuff. Alex Cook. Both teams poking at us. We are about 8 minutes into this opening frame. To the middle, Vacek has his man in transition. Kelley. Pass number 2, Reynolds. In, one-timer, deflected, just outside the post. Kept alive with a good stick from James Woods. Trickles all the way down, has to be touched by Nocera, no icing. Both teams gonna keep the same group out there, minus a pair of substitutes on the defensive end for the Celtics. They're gonna get their money's worth right now. Up and moving, Chris Kelley, between the legs, can he get there? Great poke out, Drew Spencer, call that another save. Stolen back on the forecheck, shooting. Another save by Spencer, however. That's the Drew Spencer we've come to know this season. The Celtics get it in. Nifty little bat there. The right hand of Braden Rogers. Delivers the hit onto his counterpart, Sam Reif. And it's the Wolfpack the other way. Sean Biden aggressing. Celtics have to get back. Man advantage, Wolfpack. Cross ice, Colmone. Excuse me, number 47, Gus Bergmann of the Wolfpack had that briefly under the one-timer. We will get a stoppage on the other end of the ice near the Celtics net. 7:53 on the clock. Our first power play is going to benefit the visitors. Providence Catholic's going to get a power play. Cameron Arvanites, the offending party of the Wolfpack. We will check what the specific call is on CCHL.us when we get a chance. I unfortunately didn't have my head on a swivel like all these players on the ice do right now. St. Ignatius does have the best penalty kill in the league. 92.6% of the time they successfully get out of a power play situation. And maybe a shorthanded goal chance. Gerami to the rack. Close one there. The defense from Providence Catholic. Maybe a bit of a wake-up call that they let Gerami get by there. Maybe had a 1-on-0 look. We were saying, though, St. Ignatius, nearly 93% of the time they're successful on the PK. Providence Catholic, about treads water on the power play, nearly 20% of the time, ranking 5th in the league this year. Special teams is a big focus for both teams, especially the Wolfpack, as we talked to Spencer Montgomery preseason about that. Grayson Rizzuti getting in there. He's defended very closely by Mason Brandows, or two hockey guys right there. Plenty of substitutions for the Wolfpack. Want to keep fresh legs out there for this PK, which don't know if we've really seen a shot on goal from the Celtics yet, and they're halfway through this power play. Now Provi's got it. Continuing to be patient with it, wanting to set the offense. Rodriguez got it behind net, wanted to feed it into number 2, Trent Reynolds. Now a breakaway chance, shooting, up and over for Jack Rogers. Wants to pry it out of the net, still having some trouble doing so, but now it's out with half a minute remaining on the power play, the other way for PC. Flanking on the wing, nice set of passes, but over the stick. Braden Rogers had a good look in the center in the slot. More time off the clock, puck is sent down. Remember, no icing when a team's on the PK, so Providence is gonna have to hurry. They want to take advantage of this last chance. That's way up and off the stick. That one will be an icing. So with 7 seconds remaining on the power play, 6 minutes left in the first. It's all but a successful PK to start things off for Spencer Montgomery and his Wolfpack team. Puck rode the wall a little bit here at the first rink at Fifth Third. Arvanites re-enters and will quickly exit and is replaced by his teammate Chris Kelley. Vacek with a hard hit delivered to him. Ryan Sturr, good clean hit. Vacek stays on his feet. Stolen back, 2-on-1. Batted out of reach of Teddy Burke. Celtics just a beat off on some of these passes, allowing Wolfpack to get back and reset up their prolific offensive attack. To the middle, Vacek. Chris Kelley's with him, 2-on-1. Vacek shoots himself. Back to Kelley, trailing Burke. Good block right in the nick of time for number 20. Mitch Piano, the junior, does most of his damage on the offensive end. He can play the D as well. No one clipped that. Vacek and Kelley again. Wanted a toe drag, still has it. Vacek, nice set of moves. Spencer saves, still loose. Kept alive, Wolfpack. Threatening once again. Close to a dozen shots on goal, honestly, if I had to guess. Entering Gerami, he's on the far side. Meyer's just gonna retreat this one as we have a delayed penalty call in front of the net. So Nocera skated off. Now the whistle's blown with 4.5 remaining. Charlie Gerami's going to talk to our head referee here to ascertain what exactly is going on. So is Grayson Rizzuti, the captain of the Wolfpack. Looks like the referees themselves are going to talk it over a little bit. Either way, on the scoreboard here at Fifth Third, we have a 2-minute penalty afflicting Providence Catholic. I was following the puck. I saw at the other end in front of the crease that somebody was getting in the way of number 31, Drew Spencer. Looking at the scoreboard, they're going to assess it to number 27, Rylan O'Sullivan. A big blow for the Celtics. The junior accounts for 7 goals and 2 assists this year. So now for the leading Wolfpack, who are already up 2-0, they have a power play of their own, which they are very good at on the other side of the ice. 22.4% they're converting on power plays, second in the league this year. When you win 17 games and lose only 2, not much that you're not good at. Again, one of those 2 losses, though, came to this Celtics team. Pretty convincing 4-2 win. That was back in December. The Wolfpack have not lost in CCHL play since then. They certainly have shown that they are not infallible. Wolfpack also play in the SHL. He unfortunately fell in a 3-game series against 3-time defending state champion New Trier. We're going to pause that thought. Another arm goes up. Is this going to be 5-on-3 for the number 1 seeded Wolfpack? And that's exactly what we're going to see here. Not happy to enter the box, number 9, Ryan Sturr of the Celtics. So 124 of 5-on-3 if the Wolfpack choose to get after it. Even if they do score a goal, or excuse me, even if they don't score a goal in that 124, we'll still have close to 40 seconds on a normal 5-on-4 power play. Tall order for this Celtics defense. Three skaters out there for the Celtics: John Cardwell, Henry Gagliardi, and Trent Reynolds. Seeing some movement in and out of the penalty box for Providence Catholic. Maybe a different player serving those infractions. Coach Nick Achancio wants an explanation from the referees. We will wait to see if anything changes. Shout out to all the referees listening in. It's a thankless task being one of the gentlemen or ladies that wears those zebra stripes. I'm sure the fans would disagree with my assessment. They're not the biggest fans of them. And some more movement coming out of the Celtics penalty box. Out is Carcosa. Nobody has replaced him thus far. Now Spencer Montgomery talking to our referees. He seems content with the explanation, and more than content that he has 5 skaters to Providence Catholic's 3. Again, out there for PC, Cardwell, Gagliardi, and Reynolds will try to stop this impressive line out there. It's Vacek, Gerami, Meyer, Urtis, as well as number 29, Sam Reif. More than a couple all-staters out there. Shot is in, near toward the in post, hit the back of the net from Gerami. Wolfpack reload, right side into Gerami, scores! Only 16 seconds into this 5-on-3 opportunity the Wolfpack have found themselves in. Charlie Gerami, Mr. Big Shot himself, his second goal of the night, 3-0 advantage, St. Ignatius Wolfpack. St. Ignatius has jumped out to this trio of goals in the first period, reminiscent of the 4 goals they scored in the last matchup against PC. They're still going to have a power play coming out of this, a chance to match that 4-goal total we saw last month. Bouncing that puck off his stick a couple times to himself is Urtis. He's out there with Gerami looking for the hat trick. Now it's to Rizzuti, back to Urtis, into the center, trailing. Vacek wanted a redirect, but it was blocked. Unable to be kept in, however. Now back the other way with a nice move. Braden Rogers not going to bear any fruit. He will chase down on the forecheck. Looking up at the scoreboard, we did have 2 minors on the board. Now it looks like that last penalty is going to be 1 major. 1-on-0 chance, saved by Drew Spencer. And a little frustrated with himself that he didn't put a goal on the board was Sam Reif. With a 3-goal lead, I'm sure that softens the blow a little bit. The scoreboard here now showing 3:07 remaining in this power play for the Wolfpack. One of those penalties must have been a major, so a huge tilt of momentum. Whatever the Celtics had fought back to in the first period, they're gonna have to fight even harder. Again, 3-game series here, best 2 out of 3. Tomorrow's game, 8:30 p.m. puck drop. You'll see it right here on Recruiting. It's going to be at Arctic Ice Arena, home of the Providence Catholic Celtics. Assisting on that goal to Charlie Gerami, Sam Reif, and Jimmy Urtis. Thank you to our public address announcer here. Wolfpack stay on side. Celtics wait for them, and we'll flick it back to the other end of the ice. Wolfpack once again, 3-on-2. Getting to his spot, Kelley, stopping, starting, Meyer in the middle, shoots, but it's a good save by Spencer. Batted back out with a good save there. A keep by Teddy Burke. Burke to Rogers. Now Meyer comes in to try and get past the defense of O'Sullivan. Meyer flings it cross ice, 5-holes the referee. Just can't pass up the 5-hole opportunity no matter who it is. Meyer off the backboards. Still over 2 minutes on the penalty. Wrap around, diving to try and make a stop. Henry Gagliardi, the all-star. Burke, shot, redirect, loose puck, gloved, and in the nick of time by Drew Spencer. Referee's getting in there to make sure there's not any extracurricular activities. Line change incoming for both teams. We were briefly talking about what the St. Ignatius Wolfpack have done over in the SHL. They lost in 3 games in the quarterfinals of the SHL playoffs, to New Trier Green, who have won 3 straight state titles and are primed to make a run at their 4th to the United Center, which is actually not played at the United Center this year. It'll be up at Allstate Arena, home of the Chicago Wolves. We'll call it muscle memory. Everyone wants to play at the UC. Just across the road here, 5th third. Get back to the action. Wolfpack. Shot is high and wide. Jimmy Urtis, who was assisted, I believe, on 2 of the 3 goals today, wants a goal of his own. 60 seconds remaining and counting. The opening period has been all home team. I've heard their goal song, Freebird, a trio of times, wanting to make it 4 in the waiting moments of this power play. Rizzuti into Vacek, 1-on-0, loose in the crease, still loose. Where is that puck? It's in the net! Wolfpack again! He wears the patch on his jersey for a reason. Captain Grayson Rizzuti puts the Wolfpack up 4-0 in Game 1 of the Kennedy Cup Finals. Straight from the horse's mouth, head coach Spencer Montgomery says that Rizzuti is the guy that scores those greasy goals. Gets in there, shows some grit, shows some heart, and however it looks, a puck in the back of the net puts another number up on the board for the Wolfpack, 4-0. 11-3 shots on goal favor the Wolfpack and 4-0 on the scoreboard. That goal is now made official by our public address announcer. Assisted there by Charlie Gerami, who's had his hand in potentially all 4 goals here. He scored 2. Some physical action as time ticks away. Here in the first period, bodies flying. Now the whistle blows. Referees might have to separate these 2 teams. Something to keep in mind in that last matchup between Providence Catholic and St. Ignatius on January 10th. Nearly 24 penalties between the teams combined. A plethora of misconducts on both teams. If you wanted a physical hockey matchup, it's what you got then, and it looks to be it's what you're getting now. As yet another player is going to enter the box for Providence Catholic. It looks like they still have 5 skaters in the ice. This is going to be a game misconduct. We'll take our first period break and after these last 1.9 seconds and let you know exactly what that is, but call it a hot start for the Wolfpack. How can the Celtics bounce back in a game that's getting chippier as time marches on? Rizzuti up against Cardwell. No harm, no foul after the faceoff. Time expires in the first period, and it's another hot start for the St. Ignatius Wolfpack in front of their home fans. They lead 4-0 over Providence Catholic in Game 1 of the Kennedy Cup Finals. Stick with us. A whole lot more championship hockey coming here on Recruit Links.
Brian's Garage Door Solutions. 25 years of expert residential and commercial garage door design, sales, and service, and almost 1,000 five-star Google reviews. Tate Enterprises. Design and remodeling for kitchens, basements, bathrooms, whole house, and home additions. Max Heads Custom Kick Drum Heads. Design online, upload, create, rock. If you're in a band, you need a Max Head.
For the first goal.
We return to Fifth Third Arena in downtown Chicago. If you're just joining us, what a first period we saw. A one-sided affair favors the home team, 4-0. St. Ignatius Wolfpack. A pair of goals from Charlie Gerami. Max Meyer gets in on the fun, as well as Grayson Rizzuti to finish off that power play for St. Ignatius. They matched their total from the last time these two teams faced off, 4-0 in the first period. St. Ignatius is known to get out and get a lead early. I believe they've only lost one game all season in both the SHL and CCHL when they have scored first. And they score first 4 times. We shall see if they can hold on to this lead. Nocera and Spencer return to their nets, off and running, second period underway. And a quick icing just to make sure we're all paying attention at home, only 9 seconds into the period. Both of these teams have faced some state playoff action as well in the HAAI tournament. Try saying that 3 times fast. The Wolfpack defeated Highland Park 5-2 in the round of 32. Back on Monday, 2 goals for Max Meyer and Chris Kelley, the 5th from Jimmy Urtis. Liam Perreault was in net for that. He's sure going to get his money's worth if the Wolfpack keep on pushing through in both the state playoffs and here in the Kennedy Cup playoffs. I said it moves falling and shooting, but a save by Spencer. Providence Catholic played Loyola's Maroon team in the round of 32 on Sunday. Defeated them handily 3-0. A shutout by Susaki that one. Heading towards the net, the Wolfpack under and saved. And some more pushing and shoving after the whistle. Referee's quick to break that one up. Doesn't look like we're going to see anyone else head to the box, that is. Goals in that round of 32 game for Providence Catholic: Ryan Scheck, Mitchell Piano, Nick Coveni. The Celtics trying to make it past the round of 16 this year. Last year they fell to Glenbrook North in the AHIA tournament after beating their rival Fenwick in the first round. Wolfpack made it all the way to the Elite Eight, but fell to St. Viator, who, as good as they were last year, look reloaded and even better this year as the state's top seed in the varsity red brackets. That Scholastic Hockey League is just an absolute gauntlet. Shout out to the SHL Network, fellas, if they're listening into this one. Wraparound shot is no good from Vacek. Stick got in there by the defense. Rebound chance, open over from Rizzuti. And back the other way, having to get back there in the nick of time, and he does, is Sam Reif. Who's pursued closely by Nick Mercer. A lot of youth on this Providence Catholic team. A lot of the key contributors, sophomores and junior. Nick Coveni, the all-star. Nick Mercer, both sophomores. Jamison Samanis is a junior. Braden Rogers is a junior. Piano. As well as Andrew Rodriguez, Rylan Sullivan, Mason Brandau. And then Ryan Shack, who we just mentioned is a goal scorer in that round of 32 matchup against Loyola's Maroon team. So sophomore himself, despite playing defense, 5 goals, 5 assists this year for Shack. Head coach Nick Iachancio said it's been tough with this young group of guys they have in the locker room. They were even younger last year. Didn't quite have the result they wanted in the state playoffs nor the Kennedy Cup. But with 5 seniors, this team was reloaded and ready to make some damage, as they are certainly showing that they're not taking the foot off the gas, but a hard hit into the boards, and maybe a bit too hard, as we're going to see a Celtic skater hit the ice and take a moment. I believe that's number 3, Gilberto Ayala, who's now getting back to his skates. Ayala's being out there assessed by the trainer, but does not look like he is paying him any mind. Wants to stay in this game. It's a good thing he wore that one. A 2-minute penalty going up against the St. Ignatius Wolfpack. Grayson Rizzuti wants an explanation, but it did appear to be a quite hard hit into the boards behind the net of his teammate Drew Spencer. The Wolfpack's second penalty of the night afflicts Jimmy Urtis, the senior. Could be a big blow for the Wolfpack offense. They've had their shorthanded opportunities this year. It's not necessarily about scoring. They have the best penalty kill in the CCHL. What can they do with 120 seconds PC's way? Faceoff is won by the Celtics. Cross ice to Shack. Wrestled away from him. Now to Cardwell. He'll shoot, redirect chance, still loose, through the crease, rebound chance off of Nocera, almost went back in. There to make that play was Jamison Samanis, up close and personal to the net, but flown back out. Now the hand goes up, and after that shot was saved, it appears Nathan Lezotte shoved to the back of Samanis, and he's gonna enter the box alongside his teammate Urtis. That's exactly what we see on the scoreboard. 5-on-3 now, this time benefiting the Celtics. Ignatius had a 5-on-3 chance, scored less than 10 seconds into it last time. So now it's Provi that's going to be patient with the puck, understanding they need to take advantage of this opportunity. If there's a glass slipper out there, they could be the team fulfilling quite the Cinderella comeback against the heavily favored Wolfpack. Puck moves around, gets to the far side, Koveni. He's dangerous with it, waits. Back out near the point. Shack wanted the one-timer, but threw him, and now flicked up, hits the net. Almost hits Grayson Rizzuti back in the head. Good thing they wear helmets. About 2.5 minutes into the second. Providence Catholic on the offensive. Off the boards, Cardwell wanted to funnel it through the slot. Charging in there was Koveni. Those two have quite the connection. Koveni, 14 goals. Cardwell, 11 of his own. 46 points combined in 20 games of CCHL play. Cardwell, Koveni will stay out there, as well as Shack, Samanis, and Mason Brandau. Offense-minded line out there. It's Rizzuti, Vacek, and Reif defending. 3 all-staters to defend. Shot goes in, up and over. Bit too big of a cut there from Cardwell. Unable to be kept alive. Now Vacek wants it the other way. Will he do it himself? Toe drag, but the defense is there. Hit 3-on-1. Only so much Brady Vacek can do, but impressive stick work from his defender in Brandau. Good leave to the middle. No one's home. Backhanded slap. Circling back to the dot. In there. More pucks going towards the crease, just not going towards the net. Sent all the way back. Our first penalty has expired. Now re-entering, dangerously, had a 1-on-0 chance. Jimmy Urtis. 15 seconds left, a normal power play. St. Ignatius survives the 5-on-3 for now. If they survive 10 more seconds, they're going to have quite another successful PK. Batted over into the bench. That'll certainly wake you up. Trent Reynolds sending a puck into his own teammate's side of things on that far side. And that will do it. Another successful PK, this time with some 5-on-3 action for the St. Ignatius Wolfpack. Another pat on the back for Spencer Montgomery, who said special teams this year was such a big focus on how this team could improve from last season's endeavor. Through the wickets of Burke. Back out Bergmann. Wanted to get back on side and get things back cooking for Arvanites. He was offside and looked like he got inadvertently tabletop there by a couple defenders. Took exception to it. Referees making sure things don't get out of control. Face-off was Bergmann versus Piano. Advantage Bergmann. Teddy Burke flips ice. Now left. Fast break. Piano's going to shoot from the point, but it's a great glove and hold. Nick Nocera hasn't had to be too active tonight, but is still flawless up on the scoreboard. The thing that was headlining this matchup was the great goalie battle we were going to have. Nocera hasn't played a ton in the Catholic League. Usually his talents are saved for playoff action or the SHLs. That redirect almost goes in off of Piano. In his 4 games played, though, is allowing less than 0.9 goals a game. That save percentage is north of 92%. As his opponent, in Drew Spencer. Not the best first period for him in the defense, but a flawless second period still has them primed to maybe open up that door and make a comeback. Piano steals in the forecheck. Wanted to flip it back. Still no one's home in the slot. Turnaround chance, but diving at the feet. To get in the way was Arvanites. He's covered in ice. Slapper goes way up and over. Stuck in the netting above some PC parents. 11:48 remaining in the second period. All new lines for both squads. Nick Nocera, skaters joining him is Jack Rogers, Reid Pienta, Jimmy Urtis. In there in the face-off circle is the aforementioned Rogers. Grey Velarde, first time we've called his name tonight. As well as Nathan Lezotte. That's the 5 out there for the Wolfpack. Opposite them, Nick Coveni, as well as John Cardwell, Mason Brandow, and on the defending end, Gilberto Ayala and Henry Gagliardi. 2-on-1, Celtics other way. What a stick in there. Maybe a bit of a leave for Brandow inadvertently. But the effort from the Wolfpack, despite this 4-goal lead they've jumped out to and outshooting the Celtics by a factor of 2-1, you're still seeing they know the final whistle hasn't been blown. The job is not finished. Vacek versus Piano in that face-off circle. Take 2. Finally, we get it off. Piano wants to feed inside. Dribbling. Don't call it dribbling in hockey when you have the puck, but if it's bouncing up and down, it technically is a dribbling puck. We don't have to talk technicalities right now. 11 minutes and counting in the second frame. Still 4-0 in favor of St. Ignatius. All 4 of those goals coming in our first period. Sent in by Vacek. Loses a glove after the hard hit delivered to him by Reynolds. Assessing. Wanting to find a cutting man and found it. Vacek still has it loose. Scored! The cross pass went to Brady Vacek, who was just a step in front of it. He couldn't get it. Was shocked when he turned around, saw it sitting there. Dylan Hahn wide open on that far post. The sophomore Dylan Hahn, his 5th goal of the year, stretches this lead to 5. 5-0 Wolfpack in the second period. They're going to let Freebird play a little longer on the goal song here. Surely not to the dismay of any of the Ignatius fans, as an arm goes up. A tripping call that is, might afflict the Celtics. And showing some frustration, heading over to the box prematurely, Nick Coveney. Once again, leading goal scorer, leading assister for Providence Catholic. So with him entering the box, it's going to be another power play for this Wolfpack team, already up 5 goals. We're going to try again in that face-off. It's Vacek going up against Aidan Flood. Flood, one of the 5 seniors of this team. The other seniority, John Cardwell. Drew Spencer, of course, in net. Gavin Lass and Ryan Sturr. A cross-ice pass, and the one-timer from Rizzuti came in there rifling. It's back out to Rizzuti. More time on attack. He shoves off a defender. Behind the net, Vacek. He loves controlling back there. Back out top, Reif. Shifts. One more time, it's Gerami. Gerami back out. Puck goes up and over. I think Spencer got his shoulder on it. Now Gerami taking his time, redirects. No good from Vacek. Another save, Drew Spencer. 1:21 remaining on the power play, under 10 minutes in the second. Celtics looking to just weather the Wolfpack's storm right now, if you can say that. Get out of this penalty kill successfully. Just put 1 on the board, build some positive momentum. Can they succeed? Good stick in there from Reynolds defending Rizzuti. Another loose puck in the slot, but can't be slapped out. Wanting to ice it badly are the Celtics. In there, Gerami. There's a puck bouncing all the way out of there. Nocera will come out and grab it. Kicks it to Reif, who's got to watch out. Trailing him closely on the forecheck momentarily was Nick Mercer. More than happy to take some time off the clock despite being on the power play are the Wolfpack. Burke trailed by Hahn. Wanted to get in there. It's a great steal by Braden Rogers. Half a minute remaining on the PK. Hahn goes back and assumes the position. Waits for his teammates. Some forecheck pressure delivered, but Burke will take it behind his net. Maybe they just want to wait till they're back 5-on-5. Funneled in under the sticks of Rogers and his teammate Hahn. Providence, shorthanded chance through the wickets. Great looking chance there for Braden Rogers. Just a moment off on the pass. Power play is over. Celtics weather the storm, but for how long? And we're going to get another stoppage in play. Some not so pleasantries exchanged. Behind the net over there, Ryan Scheck and Dylan Hahn, of course, both saying the other party started it. Excuse me, I don't believe that was Dylan Hahn. That was number 23. Chris Kelley wanted to make his presence known. If you don't like physical sports, you're in the wrong place. It's been a chippy game so far despite the score. Both these teams fighting for every goal they can, whether it's to get back into it or continue ballooning this lead. Wolfpack up 5-0, 8 minutes and counting in the second. More hits into the boards behind the rack. What's Pravi got? Fed in, skaters chasing. First to it is still Nocera. Hasn't been too aggressive coming out of this net. This time he thought so, and maybe it gives them an odd man rush the other end. Just be fired in there. Bouncing loose puck, but Provi chases it down. Good awareness, Henry Gagliardi. There's a reason he's an all-star. Past the stick of Coveni, who's re-entered after the penalty. Now he'll wait for his teammates to get down there. Every chance for PC. They come up short. They immediately have to get back and monitor this Wolfpack offense. Game's being played on a rubber band right now, unable to be kept in. Now it's PC. Coming over and sniffing that one out, however, was Grey Velarde. Puck finally out of there. Both teams playing go fish with it for a little bit. Saucer pass is going to have to be touched by someone, and indeed it is. That time collecting Ayala. Just desperately trying to get it out. But Pienta's there. Urtis behind him. Joined on the ice by, that is Nathan Lezotte, as well as Alex Cook. Referee yelling that they're off. Wolfpack retreat. Immediately get back into the zone once they get back onside. They're just relentless with this pressure. Not even sure if they're paying any mind to that scoreboard, which not only shows 5-0 advantage them, but 17-7 shots on goal in favor of them. Rizzuti to the cup. Rebound's no good. Under this. So much action going on, short amount of time there. I was bounced under the stick of Cardwell. Ignatius always seems to have a man back despite the amount of pressure they show on the opposite end. Cross ice up ahead to Lezotte. Lezotte pursues and now kept in. Grayson Rizzuti pass to himself. Myers coming there. Now it's Rizzuti backhand, but it's saved. Wanted to get a rebound chance, but denying him the opportunity. Drew Spencer, another save for him on the evening. Fresh lineups in the game. It's Chris Kelley and Vincent Carcosa. The battle of the 23s is won by Ignatius' 23. The score certainly speaks for itself, but time on attack absolutely dominated by the Wolfpack in front of their faithful. A small but mighty student section here in this Thursday night. It is a school night after all, folks. Chris Kelley turnaround shooting. Saved. Spencer head on a swivel, having to stand on his head for times tonight. Again, Drew Spencer coming off a pair of great performances in that Bennett series. And overall, just a great performance by Providence Catholic against a very feisty Bennett Academy. They open up that series with a 4-1 win. Braden Rogers, Richard Simonis, Ryan Shack, and an empty netter from Nick Coveni. Drew Spencer only allowing one goal in that one. The game two was that triple overtime heartbreaker. Over 90 minutes played. A lot of time on the skates. Nico DeCosla of Bennett was the one that finally put that game to rest in triple overtime. Game three, though, a 1-0 win. John Cardwell netted one in the second. And his teammate Drew Spencer in net. A shutout when his team needed it most. 33-save shutout in a game where they were significantly outshot by the Red Wings. And here's a shot for them, but it goes by near post. Nocera, not sure if he got an influence on that. Big old slap shot from Ayala. And these pucks just inches away from these posts. That one hits the referee in a place that I cannot mention by name. We'll see if the man in stripes is okay. Breakaway chance, other end. Here we go. Wolfpack saved. Rebound chance still loose. Spencer's going to pounce on it. See if our referee here at neutral ice is all right. Impressive set of saves there from Drew Spencer. He had to go 1-0 with Dylan Hahn, who's already got a goal tonight. So Spencer probably with at least a dozen, if not more, acrobatic saves. Our referee has now fallen to a knee, understandably so if you saw where that puck hit on this near side corner. Whatever you want to call it, it's definitely where the sun don't shine. Both teams going to get an inadvertent timeout here. As we check on our referee. Hey, we're all skaters at the end of the day. We all want to make sure we're all right. Referees put themselves in the line of fire.
Brian's Garage Door Solutions. 25 years of expert residential and commercial garage door design, sales, and service, and almost 1,000 five-star Google reviews. Tate Enterprises. Design and remodeling for kitchens, basements, bathrooms, whole house, and home additions. Max Heads Custom Kick Drum Heads. Design online, upload, create, rock. If you're in a band, you need a Max Head.
Welcome back to the action here at Fifth Third Arena. We jumped away there for a moment. Our referee is getting his feet under him. I'm trying to think of other metaphors to say after you take a puck to that area where he did. 4:03 remaining in the second period. St. Ignatius has jumped out to this 5-goal lead, 5-0 in game one of these Kennedy Cup finals. Wolfpack in pursuit of their 5th straight Kennedy Cup. Just sheer domination from the Wolfpack over this past half a decade, really. Last year was probably one of their more impressive performances through the Kennedy Cup playoffs. They took the state runner-up Bennett Academy Red Wings to 3 games and had to win the winner-go-home final game of the series on Bennett's home ice at Seven Bridges. Won that game handedly and lifted themselves yet another of those Kennedy Cup trophies. You'll see a lot of the fans walking around with the St. Ignatius Wolfpack hats. There's 4 trophies underlining the Wolfpack name on there, and now you might know why. Providence Catholic, no stranger to lifting the oldest hockey trophy in Illinois either. They've won it 3 times, 2014, 2016, and 2017. They were also state runners-up in 16 and 17. This has certainly been a big building year for them. They were middle of the pack in the CCHL last year. They're still a super young team with only 5 seniors. A lot of their main contributors, sophomores and juniors. That shot goes high and wide of Drew Spencer's net. Keep in mind, this is a 3-game series, best of 3. So we will certainly see a game 2, game 3s if necessary. We know game 2 will be tomorrow night at Arctic Ice Arena, home of the Celtics. 8:30 puck drop there. And the most interesting thing, if this series does go to a game 3, some of you might have already known this, but in the red varsity bracket this year, both these teams, I mentioned they won in the round of 16, they're scheduled to play each other on Sunday in the state playoffs on top of this Kennedy Cup matchup we have here. So if this series does go to 3 games, I won't be the one to give you any concrete answers, but speculating that that game on Sunday could act as the de facto win or go home game 3 of the Kennedy Cup. That's neither here nor there for now. All we know is we will see these teams face off at least 3 times this weekend. In game 1 tonight, it's been all Wolfpack. Under 3 minutes remaining. Good to see our referee back in good spirits and on the ice. That was a absolute missile that he took to his lower body, we'll call it. Been a physical game thus far. Wolfpack back with possession of the puck. Urtis joined by teammates Gerami. Jack Rogers skating ahead. Burke enters, as well as Grayson Rizzuti. And it's Rizzuti now with the puck. He will be defended by Aidan Flood. Up ahead under the stick of Urtis. We approach 2 minutes remaining in the second. PC feeding into the zone. Wolfpack pounce on it. Burke, nice back and forth, but he'll lose it. This is the sort of witching hour of these CCHL games, right before these teams head to the locker room, as the Zamboni comes out between the second and third periods to cut the ice for the final frame. Well, if you could just sneak one more goal in, it could mean the difference between winning the game in regulation, sending it to overtime, or losing outright. Of course, Wolfpack with this 5-goal lead could tend to not be incredibly aggressive. However, that might change. It looks like they're going to get another power play chance, as Jack Rogers fell as he was being defended by, I believe, that's Ryan Scheck that's going to enter the box. And I'm glad I am not the one keeping stats, because I am incorrect. Now entering the box is number 22, Henry Gagliardi, the junior for the Celtics. Looked like a tripping call, and Jack Rogers behind the net. Three out of the 5 Wolfpack goals tonight came on the power play. Can they jump out to a 6-0 lead heading into the locker room? Icing not called at this level, though Sarah's got to be careful. Went under his stick, but the back check pressure, which is a rare thing to see on the power play. Impressive stuff getting back for the Wolfpack. Biden in the corner, flips it. Gerami retreats. He's got Bergmann at the point. We'll feed it inside. Too hard of a swing there from Alex Cook. Bergmann plays catch with Cook. Behind the net, Arvanites. About halfway through the power play. One-timer flung in from the point, saved by Spencer. Under half a minute remaining in the period as well. Can't be kept in. Provi almost had a shorthanded chance, but it's back in the possession of James Woods. Woods slice and dices, will feed it in, get some new legs out there to finish out this power play. 10 seconds remaining, last chance for either team. Meyer will just have to fire one from near the point. Unable to get one in. Had a good chance, though. A couple more seconds on the clock. Might not be a complaint, however, though St. Ignatius Wolfpack, 2 periods into these Kennedy Cup finals, have outscored Providence Catholic 5-0, and that's where our score stands. We're going to take a break real quick. We're going to have our mid-game recap coming up right after this. You're watching CCHL Hockey here on Recruitlings.
Brian's Garage Door Solutions. 25 years of expert residential and commercial garage door design, sales, and service, and almost 1,000 5-star Google reviews. Tate Enterprises. Design and remodeling for kitchens, basements, bathrooms, whole house, and home additions. Max Heads Custom Kick Drum Heads. Design online, upload, create, rock. If you're in a band, you need a Max Head.
Hi, my name is Brian Koenig. I am the president of Soccer 2000. We are a soccer specialty store located in Downers Grove. We specialize in servicing club uniforms and a personalized retail experience. Soccer 2000 has an exclusive team center that includes a wide variety of uniform kits to help your club choose the next kits that will make you guys look great on the field. Contact us at 630-241-9500 or find us online at soccer2000.com.
Did you know that you can advertise your business on our live streams? You sure can. Contact us about the numerous advertising opportunities we offer to local businesses during our sports live streams. Build brand awareness, engage customers, and support your local sports teams. Contact us for more information.
Welcome back to the broadcast booth here at Fifth Third Arena, folks. My name is Andy Diedrich. You're watching the Kennedy Cup Finals here on Recruitlings. The score speaks for itself, folks. 5-0 in favor of the St. Ignatius Wolfpack over the Providence Catholic Celtics. We know these teams were number 1 and 2 coming in. They've had a couple good matchups this year, splitting both ways. But right now, the Wolfpack are steamrolling their way to an early advantage in this best-of-3 series to decide who's going to lift Chicago's oldest hockey trophy. Those goals coming off of the sticks of Max Meyer. Charlie Gerami had a pair of them. And then Grayson Rizzuti. All 4 of those came in the first alone. And then Dylan Hahn adding 1 more in the second on a power play. You have a recipe for success for the St. Ignatius Wolfpack. Nick Nocera in net. He's all-state for a reason, as are a couple of his teammates on the Wolfpack team. Still a shutout. He's only had to face a certain amount of shots. So the Wolfpack are out shooting the Providence Catholic Celtics right now. But a shutout is a shutout, and that's what he's pitched through 2 periods so far. As for Providence Catholic, they can certainly get back on the board real soon. They want to get some positive momentum going into the rest of the series. Keep in mind, it's best of 3, and they play at home tomorrow at the 8:30 p.m. puck drop back at Arctic Ice Arena. If they can get something going in this third, even if it doesn't always get them to a victory, building on something is so crucial to try and fight your way back into the playoffs, when really the only thing standing between you, the Kennedy Cup, and also the state tournament, as we mentioned before, is this St. Ignatius Wolfpack team. They've been tremendous, but they're not infallible, of course. Other than that, I think that's all we really have to say. Stick with us for this third period of action, folks. We appreciate you tuning in. I'm Andy Diedrich. You're watching Recruitlings.
Brian's Garage Door Solutions. 25 years of expert residential and commercial garage door design, sales, and service, and almost 1,000 5-star Google reviews. Tate Enterprises. Design and remodeling for kitchens, basements, bathrooms, whole house, and home additions. Max Heads Custom Kick Drum Heads. Design online, upload, create, rock. If you're in a band, you need a Max Head.
Hi, my name is Brian Koenig. I am the president of Soccer 2000. We are a soccer specialty store located in Downers Grove. We specialize in servicing club uniforms and a personalized retail experience. Soccer 2000 has an exclusive team center that includes a wide variety of uniform kits to help your club choose the next kits that will make you guys look great on the field. Contact us at 630-241-9500 or find us online at soccer2000.com.
Did you know that you can advertise your business on our live streams? You sure can. Contact us about the numerous advertising opportunities we offer to local businesses during our sports live streams. Build brand awareness, engage customers, and support your local sports teams. Contact us for more information.
period of action. We're going to get right underway with it. St. Ignatius 5-0 over Providence Catholic in Game 1 of these Kennedy Cup Finals. They're actually going to start this one on a power play as well, if the 5-goal lead wasn't enough. Definitely saw the Wolfpack skaters on our goal cam there a moment ago. Certainly feeling very excited about where they're at right now. Puck is loose. Drew Spencer corrals it in the nick of time. In there, making his life difficult. Cameron Arvanites of the Wolfpack and a couple other of his teammates. 5-0 is the score, and with that 5-goal lead, as per, I believe it's Illinois state rules when it comes to hockey, a 5-goal lead is enough. The clock is going to continue to run until the margin of this game becomes within 5. But a swipe and a miss is going to lead to another penalty afflicting the Celtics, as we will see the clock stop whenever a penalty is called. This one, the referee coming over to make the call against number 9, Ryan Sturr, his second penalty of the night against him. With 16:04 on the clock, the St. Ignatius Wolfpack are going to have another chance to have a man advantage. Nick Nocera has been tremendous in that, pitching another shutout, as he has done so, it feels like so many times this year, whether it's in his limited Catholic League play or over in the Scholastic Hockey League. Goals for the Wolfpack, 4 in the first, 1 in the second. Those goals coming off the sticks of Max Meyer, 2 from Charlie Gerami, Grayson Rizzuti, the last one in the first, and Dylan Hahn on a power play in the second. Gives you that score you see on your screen. Wolfpack still hungry for one. Angle, loose, Rizzuti, rebound, but a glove save. I'm not sure how Spencer got his mitt on that. Cat-like reflexes in the crease. Clock continues to run. We're under 15:30. Face-off was between Rogers and Brandow. Mason Brandow won that for his team, but went right back to Drew Spencer. Suppose more time off the clock benefits Providence Catholic. That's less time on the PK with this running clock instituted. Rogers pressed against the boards by number 22, Gagliardi. Still playing some bingo over there. Finally got it out. Wolfpack back out to the point. Burke wants to find Meyer and does. Rogers inside, cutting. Getting in there deep. Just a beat off of it, Dylan Hahn. Burke flips. Meyer backhand. Just looking to continue to get these pucks in deep. Because the majority of this game has been played not only in the Wolfpack zone, but just past the goal line, really. Shot goes in, saved. Rejected once again, Drew Spencer. Power play's over. Skating back onto the ice is Sturr. Back to 5-on-5. Wolfpack are not going to stop their chance at goal number 6, however. Acrobatics from the referee. Meyer chases on the forecheck. Now it's stolen back. 3-on-1. Opposite side. Shooting. Doesn't look like that puck went in. Referee's going to say would have been no goal anyways. And that might have come off before that 3-on-1 could come to fruition. Dangerous looking opportunity though. Chris Kelley had it all alone by that face-off circle. Honestly, I didn't see the play that knocked the net off. I think in other games, the Ignatius faithful here might have some complaints. Right now, happy to let that clock continue ticking down. Providence Catholic wanted to get one on the board before heading back to their home ice tomorrow night. Still defending the offensive pressure. Skip pass goes to no one. Now the Celtics off and running. Past the point. Swarming him as sticks. Off the back of the stick of... It was Nick Nocera in net earlier. I'm now noticing we have a goalie change. Liam Perreault gets the nod for the third period. He's the one that saw more action in the CCHL. Perreault's been tremendous. Of course, when you're in a goalie room with Nick Nocera, all-stater, 2 years in a row, I believe. Hard to get time on the ice. Perrault's been tremendous in the times he has. He was the netminder in the last face-off between these two teams, the 7-1 victory of the Wolfpacks. Make sure you stick with us after the game, folks. We're going to have a post-game interview with our player of the game, as well as a quick post-game show, getting you ready for the action tomorrow night at Arctic Ice Arena. Puck will drop at 8:30. We're going to start our live stream here in Recruit Links at 8 p.m. sharp. Be there or be square. Save off of Perrault after the one-timer from the near the point. And under the stick, but it will be fed in. Skating off, Jimmy Urtis. Replacing him is number 19, Charlie Gerami. Providence will shoot. A tough defense there. A hit delivered from the back of number 5, Ryan Scheck, as he was shooting that, but Jeremy's quickly on the other end. He'll go towards the goal. Save near post Spencer. Back out. 4-on-4 before the skaters get back. Now Scheck comes back, and Rogers will fire off. And Gerami and Ayala with a shoving match behind the net. It looks like we're going to get a penalty on both of them. And the clock stops as we assess that penalty, with the referee showing the finger guns to both of them. They both enter the box. Again, boatload of penalties the last time these two teams faced off. Nearly 24, if not more, by my count. Referees potentially knowing that, wanting to make sure things don't get out of hand here in Game 1 of these Kennedy Cup Finals. So we continue on 5-on-5 due to the double penalty. Bergman's got a chance. His will go wide to the left side of that net he was shooting at. Patience shown by Woods. Gagliardi got his stick on it, preventing the redirect. Rizzuti gets a shove and will fall down, got it back out. That's going to be a call against the Celtics. Perrault's going to skate off. Can the Wolfpack take advantage of the delayed call? They do have a sixth skater join the ice. And there he is, Brady Vacek through the center, but back over to Woods. Woods feeds it in near the goal line. Arm is still up, waiting on that penalty call. Looks like it's going to be a hit from the behind. That puck can't be kept alive, however. The delay still goes on. The Wolfpack can reset this one up with the delayed call. Certainly taking their time with this one, wanting to make the most of it. For a team up 5 goals, they are certainly playing like it's a much closer game. You can tell how much they want that 6th goal. We talk about getting positive momentum for Providence Catholics on their behalf. I think Ignatius still wants to be playing their best brand of hockey when they do so. Waiting for Burke to get onside. Meyer, as well as Hahn. Arm still up from the referee. Guys open near the point, kept in. Aiming, shooting, redirect chance, no good. Rogers falls in front of the net. Bodies flying, Trent Reynolds knocked him down, and now the call will be made under 9 minutes and counting. Excuse me, we'll stop at 8:55 as we assess whatever penalty is going to be called there. Potentially we have even more after that last fracas. And it sure looks like we do. So the call that started this whole thing a couple minutes ago is going to go against number 5, Ryan Scheck. I believe it was a hit to the behind of Grayson Rizzuti on that far corner. So he enters the box for the Celtics. Somebody went into the box for St. Ignatius as well. It may have been number 9, Jack Rogers, who was in a tie-up directly in front of the crease of Drew Spencer. You know it's a big call when the referee's got to get up close and personal to the glass here. Referee showing off the dance moves to make these calls, trying to convey the message to the scorekeepers. They've done a tremendous job here. Fifth Third Arena is really quite the venue. I myself have been here for other St. Ignatius games, whether it's on here or SHL Network. So many of the club teams play here, and those Chicago Blackhawks, if you've ever heard of them, find themselves here quite as well. This is their community ice rink. If you're ever in the downtown Chicago area, come on by for one of these games. Even if you don't know what's going on, they have restaurants, bars, vending machines, water fountains, and sometimes even me, Andy Diedrich. That last part I probably could have omitted. So we play on after the debacle. Still don't know who entered the box for St. Ignatius, but the way things operate, it's going to be Providence Catholic going to have to face a penalty kill. It's 5-on-4 action favoring the Wolfpack. Back and forth we go. Perreault will just dish it to the corner. Now that puck's out of there. Again, for those watching at home, imagining you've seen a whole lot of hockey today, whether it was the women's overtime hockey victory to clinch gold over Canada. There's a lot of men's hockey coming up as well. Just a great time to be a winter athlete with the Winter Olympics on. I feel like the respect for the sport goes up tenfold. Not that hockey players need any more respect. What they do on the ice. As somebody who's terrible at skating, I applaud them for not falling down every 5 seconds. If that indicates the athleticism of your commentator here, well, so be it. 40 seconds remaining on the power play. Wolfpack, nice set of passes. Rogers aims right into the breadbasket of Drew Spencer. He makes another save tonight. Has looked really impressive in the second half of this matchup. Far side of the middle, saved by Spencer. Good shot in there from Velarde. He's in there defending as well as Lizotte. It's Velarde to defend first. Puck is into O'Sullivan. And Providence Catholic not wanting the goose egg next to their name. Not solely for the momentum's sake, just for pride, really. But against the St. Ignatius team, as Perreault makes a nifty save. Against the St. Ignatius team, a lot of teams have faced a similar fate this season. I'll take a step back. The way I'm speaking, I'm making it sound like this series is over. The series is far from over, folks, with the Celtics shifting home ice advantage back their way tomorrow night. Capturing a win at home there, as they previously did this season, means a winner-take-all Game 3, which might be coinciding with Sunday's game, which is supposed to be these two teams facing off in the state tournament. St. Ignatius being the 7 seed, Providence Catholic being the 10 seed. I believe just about every higher seed won their matchup in the round of 32, all but one. So far, no huge upsets in our state playoffs. That's sure to change. That's going to be another fun one to watch. Again, New Trier's won 3 straight state championships. And the St. Ignatius team may have just lost to them in the playoff series. That puck is going to be frozen by Drew Spencer. Ignatius is still alive. Providence Catholic still alive. They have to go through each other to get there. The Bennett Academy Red Wings, who made that magical run all the way to United Center last year as the 7 seed, finding themselves also in contention. Of course, the top seed and who to watch for, St. Viator. New Trier's going to threaten again, as they always do. The usual suspects, Loyola as well. That's the thing about hockey. There's a reason they play these games. That puck has a mind of its own, no matter who's shooting it. Whether it's us broadcasting at SHL Network or somebody else entirely, be sure to tune in. Really feels like it's a wide open postseason this year. Hope that doesn't come back to bite me if New Trier wins 4 in a row, because they might not be the top seed this year. I don't think you need a rocket scientist to tell you the New Trier Trevians are pretty good. 5-0. St. Ignatius still leads with this running clock in the third period, taking us under 4.5 minutes. Nice pass through the legs. Got to give credit where credit's due. Reid Pienta trying to be the point guard out there. Another freeze from Drew Spencer. 4 minutes and counting. Once again, stay tuned for post-game, folks. We're going to have our post-game interview with our player of the game, as well as a post-game recap that'll get you ready for tomorrow's action at Arctic Ice Arena between these two squads. Certainly looks like St. Ignatius is going to start the series off 1-0. A win tomorrow would help them capture their 5th straight Kennedy Cup. Just an unprecedented number. Any Catholic League historians are in the chat, or I run into them one of these next 2 days. Feel free to tell me if that's ever happened before. I couldn't find any of the historical statistics. Ever since I've been in Chicago, it's been all Wolfpack. Nice one-timer, but it's easily saved by Drew Spencer. Dylan Hahn wanted goal number 2. He fired that one in there. It gets into a little push and shove match with John Cardwell, but no harm, no foul. Gus Bergmann re-enters and wins the faceoff. He'll now chase. Loose puck in the center. Spencer trusted his defense there. Smart decision trying to get it out, but off the boards, it's played to Arvanites. Arvanites back out to Woods. Stopping for a moment, trying to play catch with Woods. Back over Trent Reynolds. Now the Celtics have it out. Just unable to control that puck at neutral ice, however. Biden had a nifty set of moves, but couldn't control it in the backhand. Alive still. Woods. Up ahead, Biden. Grasping for space against Lass. Off the skate, loose in the center. Again, sometimes it's the puck luck that gets involved in here. It seems every time that puck is bouncing someone's direction, it's been favoring the Wolfpack. The score might say 5-0, and the Wolfpack are certainly going to be proud of themselves, as they more than should be for this performance. Providence Catholic have the short memory, come out in home ice, make a statement. Anything's possible. Wolfpack the other end. Shot goes behind the net of Spencer. Woods enters first. We'll just fling it over there by the remaining Wolfpack students who've made the trek here to downtown Chicago. One minute left in Game 1 of the Kennedy Cup Finals. Backhanded in by Dylan Hahn, who was our last goal scorer, seems like forever ago. Midway through that second period. That score has remained 5-0 for just about the entirety of the second half of this one. Celtics had one more chance, had to get back on, and couldn't do so. I'll take this time just to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you to the Chicago Catholic Hockey League and all the administration for allowing us to do this here on Recruit Links. Thank you to my fellow crew members, Sam and Eric. Thank you to Providence Catholic and St. Ignatius Hockey Clubs, respectively. And that will do it for Game 1 of the Kennedy Cup Finals. St. Ignatius comes out on their home ice and makes quite the statements. Series is far from over, but now the Wolfpack one win away from their 5th straight Kennedy Cup title. Stick with us here. We're going to have a post-game interview with our player of the game. But as for now, we'll see you down at ice level. I've been Andy Diedrich. Thanks for watching the Kennedy Cup Finals here on Recruit Links. Stay tuned.
Brian's Garage Door Solutions. 25 years of expert residential and commercial garage door design, sales, and service, and almost 1,000 five-star Google reviews. Tate Enterprises. Design and remodeling for kitchens, basements, bathrooms, whole house, and home additions. Max Heads Custom Kick Drum Heads. Design online, upload, create, rock. If you're in a band, you need a Max Head.
Hi, my name is Brian Koenig. I am the president of Soccer 2000. We are a soccer specialty store located in Downers Grove. We specialize in servicing club uniforms and a personalized retail experience. Soccer 2000 has an exclusive team center that includes a wide variety of uniform kits to help your club choose the next kits that will make you guys look great on the field. Contact us at 630-241-9500 or find us online at soccer2000.com.
Did you know that you can advertise your business on our live streams? You sure can. Contact us about the numerous advertising opportunities we offer to local businesses during our sports live streams. Build brand awareness, engage customers, and support your local sports teams. Contact us for more information.
to ice level here at Fifth Third Arena, folks. My name's Andy Diedrich. You're watching our presentation of the Kennedy Cup Finals here on Recruit Links. St. Ignatius dominates Providence Catholic in Game 1 of the Kennedy Cup Finals, 5-0. They are now one win away from lifting their 5th straight Kennedy Cup. Standing next to me, a big reason why, senior Max Meyer, our player of the game. Max, I mean, not much else to say other than that score, 5-0. You're one win away from the next Kennedy Cup. How did going out there and a big dominant performance feel in front of your fans?
I mean, it was awesome. Yeah, we played these guys back in first semester of December, and they beat us. They mopped the floor with us, to be honest. So we knew that we had to give more coming out playing these guys, and we did that.
Yeah, a big reason why. You led off the scoring real quick into this one, I think less than a minute and a half in. You led off 4 goals in the first from your team, and then a 5th one coming in the second. I mean, what can you say about this offensive output that your team's been able to produce?
Yeah, so, I mean, if we start early, we were really hard to stop. I mean, we just got to get going first shift, have a hard shift, lay the body, get shots on goal, and once we break the dam on the goalie, it's open from there.
And talking about your own goalie, Nick Nocera, All-State for a reason. Another shutout under his resume. Hasn't had a lot of experience in the Catholic League specifically, but when he has, you guys have played great. What can you say about the defense behind you and just what he's been able to do in net?
Yeah, I mean, having Nocera in net just gives the rest of the boys a lot of confidence. Like, we can go out there and the offense can do what we do best and trust that even if we let up an odd man break the other way, Nick's going to save the puck.
Like I said, going for your 5th straight Kennedy Cup, 1 win away from that. You're a senior. You've been here for a lot of the past Kennedy Cup things. You have more than enough achieved in your career, but something keeps you going, obviously.
Yeah.
What keeps you going? What's that passion? What's that drive for this team to try and lift Kennedy Cup number 5?
Yeah, I'd say it's the younger guys on the team, right? This would be my 3rd Kennedy Cup. I was on the team as a sophomore, but we have a lot of guys that haven't won anything in the Catholic League. They haven't won the O'Grady Cup because we didn't win this year. But, I mean, it means a lot to win for the program. I mean, my little brother is a freshman at Ignatius, so I want to keep lifting this program up so by the time he gets here, he can be contending for a state championship.
Well said, my friend. Final thoughts. We're going to see you at Arctic Ice Arena tomorrow. Puck dropping at 8:30 p.m. Are you ready to maybe go lift that Kennedy Cup?
Yeah, we're getting that. I'm excited.
Player of the game, Max Meyer, everybody. Stay tuned. We're going to have our post-game recap coming up here on Recruit Links.
Brian's Garage Door Solutions. 25 years of expert residential and commercial garage door design, sales, and service, and almost 1,000 5-star Google reviews. Tate Enterprises. Design and remodeling for kitchens, basements, bathrooms, whole house, and home additions. Max Heads Custom Kick Drum Heads. Design online, upload, create, rock. If you're in a band, you need a Max Head.
Hi, my name is Brian Koenig. I am the president of Soccer 2000. We are a soccer specialty store located in Downers Grove. We specialize in servicing club uniforms and a personalized retail experience. Soccer 2000 has an exclusive team center that includes a wide variety of uniform kits to help your club choose the next kits that will make you guys look great on the field. Contact us at 630-241-9500 or find us online at soccer2000.com.
Did you know that you can advertise your business on our live streams? You sure can. Contact us about the numerous advertising opportunities we offer to local businesses during our sports live streams. Build brand awareness, engage customers, and support your local sports teams. Contact us for more information.
Back up here in the broadcast booth at Fifth Third Arena. The score speaks for itself, folks. 5-0 advantage St. Ignatius Wolfpack over Providence Catholic. One more game will give them their 5th straight Kennedy Cup. If I haven't said that point enough, it's just truly unprecedented what we're seeing from the Wolfpack here in the Chicago Catholic League. Kennedy Cup's the oldest hockey trophy in the state of Illinois. Unsure if we've ever seen this level of dominance for a period of time, quite like St. Ignatius is doing out there. As for this game, of course, this game was pretty much over by the second period. 4 goals in the first, coming off the 6 of Wolfpack skaters. Max Meyer, our player of the game, who we just spoke to, was the first one. Charlie Gerami had 2 in a row. Grayson Rizzuti closed out the first with the 4th goal for the team. And then a 5th one from Dylan Hahn just put the exclamation point on things. Nick Nocera in net for the Wolfpack. Another shutout for him. Just tremendous stuff on all ends. Really can't complain if you're head coach Spencer Montgomery or any of the Wolfpack faithful that packed the stands here tonight at Fifth Third Arena. Other than that, the most exciting thing we get to tell you is that we're going to see you tomorrow night. Game 2 of the Kennedy Cup Finals going to be broadcasted live from Arctic Ice Arena here on Recruit Link, so be sure to tune in for that. We're going to be going live probably about 8 o'clock or so, half an hour before. Pre-game meetings with the coaches, a whole 9 yards. You guys have been here before. You guys know the drill. Other than that, I think that's going to wrap things up for us. For Sam, Eric, I'm Andy Diedrich. We're going to see you next time on Recruit Links.